biondeko ina machoke kanku eko leko sausage na kulo breko alichajiwa kwake takajela medo daka mami kone kacha kisama ndani kama sikizi mbazi unaweza tell kama penda mana
guy.
I know.
Yo, that you can't hate on Ugandan trio mio. That man started it with some, you know.
Yeah.
Remember that Ugandan socialite that united East Africa?
Kajala.
No, in the toilet. The one with the big ass. Yeah. Shout out to Ugandans, man. You know, we appreciate you from time to time. You provide us with such good comedy like Museveni telling you all to shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I know.
Shut up.
That's funny.
Shut up. You know, yeah, so I feel like that's Uganda's position in East Africa, comic relief. You know, at least Tanzania is trying something. I mean, Ugandans are just completely lost in the sauce.
We have Maria instead too. How dare you?
No, but Uganda is lost in the sauce as a country. Those are individuals. As a country, Uganda is still... Wow.
After Kenya tunawaendea.
Awapi, atusaidiangi kwa jirani.
Tusaidiane.
Achana jirani kwanza. Aambiwe shut up.
Najua ni my friends kwanza na Kagame. No, 99%.
But I was like, I mean, even if it's democracy, bro, even if they all love you, 99%,
fam. Really?
I mean, 99%.
0.15, nigga.
Bro.
15. 99.15.
Didn't make sense at all.
Bro.
So these people got 0.39,
0.45? Yeah.
Damn. When I grow up, I want to be Kagame.
I want everybody to like me. If you don't like it too much, you ain't doing shit.
Man.
99%. Honestly, and people are saying it's because people love him.
Yeah?
People love him. Where?
That's the story.
I feel sad for those who love Kagame.
That's why he got 99%.
Let me finish.
Of the votes. You know?
Yeah.
Why? Nobody likes that man.
Well, somebody has to like him for them to vote 99%. You know, like somebody has to a level that they can vote 99% of, like, the country. I mean, let's give him a complete, like, 55.
Hata mtu wako hata bwana hakupendi hivyo. Really?
Let's give him a solid 55. And then the rest.
Husbands love what percentage?
Sema hivi 30.
What?
Kadati hivi kwa sababu.
Katani.
Ubaki na 70
Niko na
yako ya
hobbies.
kujisaidia.
Husband?
5%. I have hobbies.
Give him 30. Max 42.
Or you're giving him?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying that him giving.
Yeah, him is you not also give me 99, really?
Yeah, I can't, but at what percentage should they give?
Hata wakinipe hata 40. 40 is okay.
Mimi sina vitu vingine za kupenda.
Yeah, baki na 60 yake. Unajua, love yourself, guys. Rwanda, you can't love you can't be doing that to yourself.
You start love by loving Kagame.
It's the self-hate for me. The self-hate is too much. Wow.
They're like, we
You
do
want to say
not.
Rwandans themselves?
But where are they? Why do they love Kagame 99%?
I don't think they really love them. You guys,
999.
there's a video I was sharing. There's a video I was sharing,
Yeah.
and there's this guy, and even shout out to K. Williams. He's one of the guys who was listening on the show, and he asked, how is this guy allowed to survive, you know, by talking facts? Because he was talking about where we had a famous musician, a gospel singer, who came out and spoke about literally things Kagame is doing, and people are not talking about it. And people went on this burial scared because, number one, they know it's the government that got rid of this guy. Nona. And actually, another thing you're trying to answer is, if you try to look at the previous elections of Rwanda, we had the same two opposition, same two, opponents, same presidential candidates. We've never had anyone trying to challenge him. So, Loki, Ama behind the cameras, he has stopped anyone and gotten rid of anyone who tries to challenge him or tries to push beyond anything he says. So,
that's what I was saying. Let's give him like
I don't want to say like really Rwandese are. I feel like they're silenced. It's not on purpose that they really want to, be in the position they really are. These people are silenced. And it's happening where we can see just the close neighboring country, Uganda, which you're talking about.
Wow.
We saw a 24-year-old arrested for calling out Uganda, Museveni and his family.
6 years.
Equatorial Guinea, the same. Our pastor arrested for 2 years. He didn't want to apologize. He was like, yo, I said what I said. You know?
I saw some news on Rwanda. So apparently during the campaigns, President Kagame invited some musicians
Okay.
to his house and gifted each of them a cow.
Okay. Oh my
Why?
god. Si umepata ya rais.
You know, like those long phones,
Yeah.
like each of them a cow. Like, what am I going to do with one
I
cow?
know, right?
She's like, give me like 2. I
Yeah.
can start something with 2.
Mm-hmm.
This is enda kakule ng'ombe.
Kwani ni Baganda Kingdom?
You know, like you were given cows, bro.
He's
Like
giving
cows.
kingdom.
Why did you give them?
Like he had promised them cows.
Okay.
Yeah, so they all got a cow.
They had to fulfill.
You know.
Man, it's
No,
sad.
well, no, you didn't have to. He had promised
Okay.
to invite them
Okay.
over
Okay.
to like their version of state house.
Yeah.
They're
You know,
fine.
his residence.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called. Maybe it's like the president's hut or
Yeah.
something.
Wow.
Rwanda, is it Rwanda?
yeah.
Wow, you just said that.
Yeah, you don't know. Maybe Kagame is like really living.
Kagame house.
You know, like the traditional way.
I
You know, like
know.
if he's handing out cows, okay.
I know.
How traditional is this, man? Is this like a Swatini or something? Like, are we going to discover that he also hosts like parties to select new brides or something? 99 point what?
By
Man.
100%.
If I lived over there, I'd be dead.
Really, huh?
I swear. I don't know how to shut up.
That's a fact.
Guys, it's called Village Orugwiro.
I told you.
I told you guys, it's giving Baganda Kingdom. So in English, it's village hospitality. Orugwiro, it's called like that. The Orugwiro, the residence of the president.
Amazing.
It is also where the president receives entertainers, state guests. Orugwiro.
I was this close.
I swear. You see?
This close.
Right.
Okay.
Guys, they always even dressed in like their traditional wares and everything.
No, but they girls is,
They're pretty
you know.
tall and beautiful, slim.
Yeah. Yeah, we're pulling now. Like if you sit for young, what's that? No, what you're yesterday, one maandamano. I was today not to pay. Hey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about myself. Yeah, we have SH with the money, E in the house. We have JOBY as well, and this is we are missing a candidate. Apparently he's alive somewhere else.
Wow, of course.
Yeah, so
It's what on space for me.
At least he ain't dead.
yo, he's still breathing.
Yeah.
You know, with this government, you never know. Hey, yeah, yo,
So
you
what
might.
happened yesterday?
Yeah, we did.
They literally went for that old journalist,
In
man.
the church, bro.
Yo,
Yeah, I saw
hospital.
that.
In the
my
church. It was the church one for me.
Yo,
Hata ka tuliangusha kanisa, tuliangusha hiyo sana.
Jesus is trying to save us. Why are you coming here?
Hey.
Like,
Oh my
Hey.
god.
Hao walifukuzwa.
that Jew don't know you.
Were they looking for the protesters in
Yeah.
the church?
they went for one specific guy.
Kuna mtu alikuwa amewauma. Alikuwa
According to the video,
Yeah.
I don't know if this guy was running from outside because I think Nula lingered me a video once. I'm not sure.
But they left without nobody.
They
Waliwa-
did
they
leave with
made
someone.
everybody
I
like
can check the video very
lay
well.
on the ground.
Yeah.
yeah,
The
They
church.
left with someone who had a white
Yeah.
pants
Oh my
trousers
God.
and a black hoodie.
man.
And they were just worshiping, just doing their thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then, my goodness.
While
And in the-
while protesting,
In the hospital.
yeah,
walikuwa
they were telling people to
see.
get out. Toka, toka, toka inje, toka, toka.
That's not good.
Man, and I'm like, yo, you already whooped my ass while I was outside. I'm trying to get me treated
Yeah.
so that I can be back. Tomorrow we can do this. Time out, man.
Get out.
Go, check
Go
to
and
go
die
that tena Roshio.
Sasa unajua if they come with the come talk to a CBC, a CBC
Hey.
generation.
Moja.
Toga. What is toga? You know, the
What you
pronunciation
mean?
nowadays. The pronunciation of this CBC
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Hey,
CBC kids don't know
it's
Swahili.
different. Sijui, see, it's pronounced Sijui. I don't know, man. The pronunciation is different
It's just
from our what.
different.
Yeah.
Apple is not Sijui. See, apple Sijui ni. Apple,
Hey,
not apple.
they always gotta change something
It,
with
it,
each
I mean,
generation.
there's something. This the pronunciation is just different.
Can I tell you something really
Sure.
messed up I learned?
Messed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every 100 years, there's new people.
That's great.
Wow. No, like every 100 years, there's new people.
Yeah, because everyone is dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it like this: everybody alive in your time is like your crewmate.
Okay.
Like this is a ship,
Okay.
and these are your crewmates.
Got it.
So while you're alive,
Mhm.
it's up to you and your crewmates to make the most out of this ship. Okay? Now, if you all don't work together,
Yeah.
in 100 years, somebody else will be trying.
That's
Won't
a
be
fact.
you.
Yeah.
Sure.
I agree with
You know? So,
That's a nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think shout out to HR. Yesterday was trying to tell me. I think based on the same fact,
Mhm.
whereby in 20 years
Yeah.
or 30 years when
Mhm.
you die, people forget you.
yep.
And I was kind of like, I think it depends. I agree to disagree. I feel like it depends with the legacy you leave behind.
That's a fact.
Because I feel like I gave a perfect example with him. Kind of his music right now, which we saw during during the demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
The Mau Mau is trending right now on Twitter, literally, and you'll find I bumped into it in most of the posts.
Yeah.
Mau Mau is now trending. A song he released like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a legacy, and according to not just that, most of the music, even
Mhm.
other artists,
Yeah.
or whatever you do, the art, whatever you do, it depends what you leave behind. The
Can I-
impact we
can I
should
tell you
be-
what he meant?
we should put an
Mhm.
impact
Mm-hmm.
into other people's lives. So I feel
I
like
agree.
legacy never dies. That is
Can I
for
tell you
me.
what he meant?
And I wanna give an example with someone like Jambi.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone who's right now wanna be an MC, and
That's
they're
a
looking
fact.
to up to
Yeah.
all the tapes that Jambi has left behind, all the
Mhm.
records of her,
Mhm.
everything. So I feel like that is a legacy that will
Yeah.
never die, no matter how many years.
You'd be surprised. So
I'll
let
be surprised, but
let me explain to you what he meant. They'll remember HR,
Mhm.
not him.
I agree.
Like
but
there's
still,
the
it's you
there's the
that
musician.
you did that.
Listen, yeah, there's the musician, and then there's him.
But
I
it's still the same
agree,
person,
it's-
right?
No, not really. Then why doesn't he go by his?
Because that is it, is artistic. I mean, Atange
So
released
it's an
Yeah.
alter
Peter
ego. What I'm trying to say,
with
what
Mau
I'm trying,
Mau. People would still
what I'm,
remember Peter,
yeah,
right?
what I'm trying to say is, when musicians come up with the names, it's an alter ego, where with this I can say whatever, and it's also there's legal implications and whatever, but in 20, 30, 40, 50 years after your death, you'd be surprised how many of even your own lineage don't remember your actual name. You'd be very surprised.
I still
But I
disagree.
still, I still say,
Because let me
sometimes I
ask
think
you
it's
this.
Yeah,
No,
you're
let me
overthinking.
no.
You're overthinking, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the
It's
same
not
thing.
overthinking. Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. What's your great grandmother's first name?
I kind of agree with you. I saw that coming. I kind of agree on that because I thought about it. I don't know
Yeah.
my grandma,
Mm-hmm.
my mother's name.
Right.
Yeah.
My
Mm-hmm.
I don't know her name.
Yeah.
You know
I
her
don't
eyes,
know my
for sure.
great grandmother's name, and
Yeah.
she died actually in 2022.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name,
Okay.
so it does make sense.
But there's a story maybe you can't remember is because you are not part of that
Thank
life.
you.
But for
Yeah.
example, I know my grandmother's name because I saw her. She died when I was alive. I had a relationship with her.
Yeah.
The things she left. But you see, my great grandmother, she died even before I was born. So it's really hard to trace that because she was not part of my life. But I'm trying to
That's
say
what you're
people,
saying.
for example, let's say
That's
HR.
exactly
In
what
the
you're
next 50
saying.
years, I cannot forget HR.
But for me,
Even after he's dead.
No,
I wanna
like,
say
like,
Because
yeah,
I knew him.
yeah, that's we're assuming he lives to like 100, right? And then it's 50 years after he's
Okay.
died.
Okay.
Okay, not from now.
Yeah.
After he's died.
Well,
God
I'll
forbid.
agree.
You get
We
like
still know Nagala. They were not part of our
yeah,
lives.
we know a
Still-
name,
Exactly. We'll still
Yeah.
remember your name. And
but
the
you're more than
impact.
a name.
Wangari Maathai. Because you are not part of your life, Kamlesh. I
I
can't
was
know
not
you.
your
And
friend.
But
that's-
if you leave a
that's
legacy,
literally
even people will know that
Yeah, all over
legacy.
the world.
that legacy, but they won't know you.
Yeah.
I don't feel like y'all get you.
Nashangaa.
Hey,
I
cabbage.
definitely agree with
That's
you
cabbage mzee.
on what you're saying.
Wow.
They're not gonna know you personally because I'm not in your tribe.
Exactly.
But the impact, let's say, like Shimani, people know about what you do, your work all
Exactly.
over the world.
Yeah.
They know about your work.
Exactly.
But if I'm not your friend, I'll not
I don't know
about
person
you, and
exactly.
that's okay.
But I'll know your name. The
Yeah.
people who say I've had that name, Kamlesh,
Yeah.
oh, I've
Yeah.
had that name,
And-
and they've never met you,
Yeah.
right?
What we're trying to say is, like, you're forgotten by the second generation, basically. Okay?
Maybe
Because-
they're not gonna forget your work, but they
yeah.
don't have to
We are
know me,
speaking
and that's okay.
personally.
That's okay.
And that's where you're told it's up to you to make the most of your time,
yeah.
okay? Because most people live for the future all
Okay.
the time,
Yeah.
living for the future.
Mhm.
I want to do this in future. I want
That's
to I
true.
want to do it today,
I agree.
okay?
Facts.
Because you're going to postpone it for that future of which you might not be a part of,
I agree with you.
okay? And the lesser you do today, the more forgettable you are tomorrow.
I agree.
You understand?
Yes.
So, and I guarantee you, the things you care about right now,
Yeah.
couple of years after you're gone, nobody will. You cared about protecting some property somewhere, probably your grandchild will have sold it.
That's a fact.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's basically what he was trying to say. Like, it's here and now,
Yes.
and you make the most of it.
Like right now.
Yeah,
This is
'cause-
the time.
Because a couple of years after you're
Yeah,
gone, nobody even remembers
Mm,
that you liked what kind of cookies.
that's a fact.
That
Sure,
you,
agree with you.
they don't remember the person.
Yeah.
They don't remember how you used to laugh.
Mm,
You know, because
Yeah.
that's the person.
Yeah.
They don't remember your dark humor jokes.
yeah.
They, by the time you're even old, your sense of humor is aged. So now nobody thinks you're funny. Okay, your grandkids look at you like, what's he trying to do? Make a joke? Damn. Old ass jokes.
So basically,
No.
you leave today like it's the last day.
Yes,
Yeah.
because like after you're gone, like pretty much like 50 years, poof, done for.
I agree with you.
Nobody
Almost.
remembers who.
So you got yourself, in short. The
Yeah,
best part of your life.
but
Be
still,
the best
even if
version
you
of
do
yourself
that
each and
at
every
some
day.
point, oh, you'll be like we remember. Let me give you a good example. We remember Jomo Kenyatta,
Okay.
but do we know him? Probably the people that did are probably gone.
Okay.
So now we give him attributes.
Okay.
It's not really who he was. We give him attributes.
Mm.
He was probably like this. Unaona hii picha anakaa ni kama alikuanga.
Okay.
He's
You're
really-
like, he seems like you're.
Yeah.
Okay.
And most times, when history favors you,
Mm.
we start giving you extra.
Higher accolades.
Exactly.
Mm.
From kidogo kidogo utasikia maybe he was like one man akukuwa na mabao. Just
Right.
whooped the Brits.
Right.
He was like super muscular. He had tights on.
That's okay.
Zenye zimeandikwa Kenya. That's how he came up with the flag.
That's really.
He descended Mount Kenya as a grown up. He was never a child. He just decided, then kidogo kidogo he's the Kenyan like Zeus or something.
Huh.
But that's like, give it 200 years.
Yeah.
I wish we could come back knowing what we know now in like 300 years
I
and see
know.
what this is. You'd probably find Jomo Kenyatta as a superhero.
What?
Yeah, like somewhere, like somebody would have made folklore. Like right now,
Okay.
there's
I think no, he should not come back as a superhero.
no, not come back. Like he's been written in like stories
Oh yeah,
as a
as a
superhero,
superhero, yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because that's how like everything happens, really.
I feel like someone like that, understanding what's the term? Reincarnation.
Yeah.
Huwa kirudi before they really like get to, you know, the true higher self
Yeah.
as a soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take time because
Do
this
you
this
think
guy,
he really had
this guy
did enough to go past that?
this guy just read.
Huh.
He sold our land, Kamesh. 10 million acres.
Yeah.
For a house that had library and a glass of wine. A glass of wine, Kamesh. Something you can just have in your own farm, create and prepare. So I feel like people like that,
Yeah.
okay, Rudy, it'll take time, but
No.
back to what you were saying.
Just to add on to that, to people who maybe believe in reincarnation or not,
Yeah.
I believe it's not how long you're here that matters.
Mm-hmm.
More like, did you really achieve what you were here for?
Exactly.
You know, like, did you really achieve it? Because you might achieve it at like 17 and you're out of here, and people are like, too soon, and you're like, what?
Do we really
Or-
have a purpose or we just live?
Everybody does.
Has a purpose?
Yeah.
Evolution.
You know, because there has to be something to ascendancy, right? Because that's why dimensions exist. You have to ascend to a higher dimension of a creature, because it's proven that these creatures exist in these higher dimensions, because no dimension is empty. So if so far mathematically we can prove 12 and we are 3D, how far high up can we go? And that's why the things that can make you achieve that have been made so hard for you to acquire. Okay? You're distracted by what you call religion. Even the foodstuffs that you consume basically block that inhibition of knowledge, or even wanting to have that kind of craving to know such things. You know, the psychedelics that your ancestors used to access that realm are really hard for you to access. And it's not because they're not around you, it's because you've been denied the knowledge of what they are. But anyway, I digress. We're talking about safety. Tubonge. About safety. Poleni. That sounded like a very serious conversation. You heard it too. Yeah. But yeah, welcome to Tubonge, ladies and gentlemen. That was basically
Dimensions are infinite. Dimensions are infinite.
Yeah.
But that's the white man's science. He's figured out it's 12. He's late. See, Iraton is still on the third dimension because she believes in the Jesus shit. She don't even believe in dimensions. So you got to leave that alone. These Christians don't even know about dimensions. So they're trapped in this dimension.
Yeah.
So anyway, the white man says it's 12. They're infinite. The dimensions are infinite. They're uncountable. You ascend, yes. You ascend, but, you know, until you get enough knowledge and vibrate high enough, that's when you go to that dimension. But most since we're stupid now, you can't ascend. You call it Jesus and Allah and Jewish bullshit, or Buddhism or Hindu. Your vibration's all fucked up. So you coming right back. You come back, as the old Africans say, you come back to the next meat suit. You're being reborn because you haven't graduated from the dimension. You coming right back. So will you be forgotten? Yeah, because you're just going to keep regurgitating yourself here because you haven't vibrated. You haven't got enough knowledge to go to the next dimension. Because Campus is right. Ascension is the name of the game in the universe. You're supposed to go back to the creator as high as you can. It's infinite. But they just, Campus is right. The white man has noticed there's 12. So if you know there's 12 dimensions, you know your religions are lies. Because you got to ascend to each of these dimensions. Tell a Christian that the Bible don't tell me about no dimensions. Because your Bible's a lie, stupid. You got other dimensions.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, guys.
But yeah, diverting from that for a while. We're talking about safety, mostly when it comes to our profession, media practitioners, journalists, basically people who want to tell the truth about what
But
is
it's
happening.
dangerous. It's dangerous in Africa. Ask Kagame. Kagame, shout out finally people finally calling out that wicked ass Kagame. No matter what the Western press had tried to make him into some kind of saint, he's finally being caught up with a wicked psychopath he is.
Yeah.
You guys keep asking, why don't Rwandans see him on social media? Because they'll get murdered. Yeah, it's a police state. I told you when I took Cameron Spikes down there, people walking around with armed weapons. You can't even leave the country. Kagame don't even let you leave if you're Rwandan. You can't get out of there. So he's a psychopath. You got a psychopathic individual who's put there. Let's show you guys the images when I think it was Shimani looked them up yesterday. Sure about him being in the CIA, groomed.
Yep.
He could not be president of no Rwanda. They blew the president of Rwanda and Burundi out the sky in 1994 with the assistance of the CIA. That's how he became president for life. Might as well become president for life. But, you know, and you got to understand that.
I don't believe it's
one
for life,
government
kids.
Go ahead.
They said it's supposed to run till 2034.
Listen.
Yeah, but
That's how they all
said
do.
that.
You know,
He said that.
they keep extending their presidency
Exactly.
term by term after their constitutional legal term is over. What they do is they
Renew
extend.
the constitution.
No, they extend their term, and what they sell is the people love me and say that I should continue.
Yeah.
Okay, and it reaches a point where the people can't even speak up anymore because it's a national consensus that we love the president. I mean, it's 99.
9.15.
It becomes absurd.
You know, and
at
that's
least-
how dictatorships set in slowly. They
That's
don't
right.
start as, well, not all. Some start as total authoritarian regimes,
That's true.
but some start slowly, where they coax you into a certain sort of comfort, and now they set in the fear, and they sell you the fear, and then they start abducting you. And look at what ours is doing when I say this. They start abducting you one by one. Whoever speaks up, I don't deal with y'all as a group. I deal with individuals. Wewe ndio uko na mdomo. There is a Japanese, whatever, the nail that sticks out gets hammered in. You know, that's how the Japanese live.
Right.
The nail that's why they don't. None of them want to stand out.
Yeah, the nail, the
That
nail that
stands
needs
out
the most,
gets hammered back in.
Nail that needs the most oil. Yeah, Japan is a society that no one's allowed to go against the group.
Yeah.
If you go against the group, you'll be smashed.
Exactly. And that's what
So-
they're trying to set into Africa. The fear of going against government interest. And the government, if it's retrogressive, really isn't serving the people. So
See, but what-
it is up to the people to rise up and speak against it. But now when you have fear setting so deep that rebellious nature does not exist, now you
Yes.
have exact subjects for dictatorship. Really good
You know what?
subjects.
Yeah, generational fear. So what he's doing is he's been selling out the country to the IMF and the World Bank because Africans are waking up. So
Yeah.
Rwanda has been selling out the whole country. The
Yeah.
IMF, Black Street, Black Rock, they own the majority of Rwanda. So he's leaving nothing. So they put his ass in there so they can continue to come back and take the country without trying to pretend like it's not colonialism, which it
Yeah.
is. So when he dies, the country's gonna always be in the hands of this cracker. That's why he was put there. He just, you got he's ego. Yami is so evil, so wicked. But shout out to the Ugandans. I seen they starting to speak out against Museveni in speeches. He said, "Hey, you, shut up,
Shut up.
Yeah.
You, shut up.
Yeah, you see it. He's not used to the youth talking to his ass. He's just making these convoluted speaks to cameras. He said, "Hey, you, shut up." See, they're not used to people even talking. Just listen to their wicked ass just going for hours about nothing.
I'd like to see Museveni make like a full speech in English,
Okay.
because I bet he can't. I have a theory. I bet he can't. Like, I've never really heard Museveni speak English fluently.
Right.
Except he's an idiot.
I bet he's a bit illiterate. Not
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
fully, but a bit. Like, he can read and write his own name, but I bet he doesn't understand algebra. You know, or statistics in any shape or form. But shout out to Ugandans. Oh, yeah. High five. But yeah,
idea that they've been voting this moron in
man.
for 40 years. Come on now.
And his son is
Isn't it?
Cutting.
is a military
Yeah.
captain.
That's Captain Crunch.
Man, does he have a daughter? I want to marry into the family. Seems like it's a good business to be in. Like, I'd get me my own 10 million acres in Uganda for a cup of wine
See, he was
and a kind of game.
really was like
And he
his other,
told me his daughter is a
despotic
boss
bastard. He wants
game.
to turn the country over to his son, but his handlers don't want his stupid ass son as the next president. He wants to turn the country like all these despots in Africa. My son will be the next president of the vice. But the white man said no.
Wait, Keith,
your son will not be.
Keith,
Go ahead.
do the Ugandan accent again.
I don't know how to do that goopy accent shit.
Do it. Do it.
I am President. I am President Museveni of Uganda. You shut up there.
Shut up.
You shut up there.
Shut up. I see. Shut up. You know.
They think this
Now,
is kind of guy.
you need a cowboy hat and whole lot of cows, and you qualify to be Ugandan president.
Yeah, but
Did you?
he got a crazy. I don't know what kind of hat he wear. That shit like a retarded musician's hat.
Did you see the videos of him and Kagame with their cows together? It's like they had brought their cows for like a play date or something. What's up with these old dudes and cows, by the way? You know, like I get how cows are nice and
Remember
stuff.
Museveni and Museveni and Kagame grew up together.
Yeah.
So they were both refugees.
Represent
They weren't
12.
even. They were refugees in a refugee camp. Oh, you're right, Cam. I forgot. Museveni dropped out of school like in the 6th grade. That's when Kagame smart. Yeah, he dropped out. He didn't have the money to go. So you're right, he is illiterate. He is illiterate. I forgot about that. You're right. He had to stop because he couldn't pay the school fees.
Told
Kagame
you.
was talking about that.
Told you.
I didn't anymore because his family cannot pay the school fees. I was like,
Wait.
oh shit.
Wait,
Right.
is that your Rwandese accent now?
I don't know. I never said what he was doing an interview years ago, talking about how they grew up together. And
Yeah, what did he say?
Because he dropped out.
What did he say?
He said, yes, me and Museveni grew up together. We were in a refugee camp, and I didn't see him anymore because his family cannot pay the school fees. What did he say?
Keith,
Oh my God.
we're gonna give you a set right now.
Yeah.
We need skits, okay? We're finna call Comedy Central. We're finna do like 3 seasons of Keith impersonating African presidents.
I know.
We finna get that
Hey.
money,
Hey, we don't
that
want
Comedy
that.
Central money.
We got our own TV channels now. We get our own channels. So, yeah.
We need skits now, man.
I didn't know his ass. I knew they grew up together. They went to They both in a refugee camp. I was like,
I mean,
how do
Key,
you go to a refugee camp and you're both two presidents? How
Listen.
that
I
happen?
know, right?
listen, Key, the fact that these two guys are so close that they bring their cows for play dates,
I know.
she'll tell you everything you need to know about these dudes.
That's why they have the same traits.
You know, like their sons and like
They're
All their
dictators.
sons are
Yeah.
all in
They're
the
dictators, both of them.
na venye dota umseni peng ni nasikianga sijamcheki. Yeah, apparently she's like super hot or something. Like she's got.
And remember they're both racist. Remember they're both. Yeah, the Tutsis. They're not supposed to be in charge of Uganda or Rwanda. Those are Bantu countries. The majority is Bantu. So
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they were setting up the CIA set them up, said we're gonna try to overthrow these Bantus and set you Tutsis up because you're a minority. You're actually from the Horn. They're not from that part of Africa. They're from the Horn. They're from the goddamn Somali area.
Ethiopia actually. Ethiopia actually came.
Yeah, my about Ethiopia. All that shit. Well, I almost say they're the original Ethiopians because those same mixed motherfuckers.
They actually have really a lot of really similar facial traits to Ethiopia.
Yeah, that's where they from. Yeah,
Even
they from
body
that
structure.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's why
shout out to them, man. You know, we'll be watching. Let's see how many more Kagame does in that are wearing press jackets. But let's deal with more local problems, right? Yesterday we saw, it was yesterday, right? Media Max journalist getting shot.
Yeah.
We saw Larry Madowo running away from the colored water. You know, like,
Did they kidnap a journalist by mistake or something?
yeah, they kidnapped a veteran, not even a journalist. This man is a veteran. I grew up reading articles of this man. It's like going to kidnap Smita Smitten. Who remembers Smita Smitten here?
It's
None of
snatching
y'all
everybody off the street. You don't care. Who
Man,
get in that
so
damn
sad.
truck?
Who remembers Whispers? What? That is so sad, man. I feel like I'm ancient right
Baby
now.
boomer. Yo.
Man,
Come
so
on.
before, let me educate you. Before the Kibaki era,
Okay.
I know you all don't remember that. Before the Kibaki era, one of the biggest anti-government
Movement.
columnists,
Okay.
journalists, yeah, was a guy that used to go under Whispers. That's how bad it was. He couldn't write under his own name. Okay, his name was Whispers. Okay, and he'd write government, whatever the government is doing, like the propaganda, like whatever was considered propaganda at the time, you know. And he'd write it all, and he was always being hunted, you know.
Yeah.
And he only came out and he used to write for Nation, and the editor of Nation at the time was always being harassed by well, it was CID back then, not DCI. You see the significance.
Yeah.
Okay, it was CID, DCI.
Got it.
So they used to harass like the editor of like the Nation newspaper, like a whole lot, trying to understand who this guy is. And his image was always a cartoon.
Okay.
You know, and once Kibaki was in power, that's when he came out. But that also had its own time with craziness. If you all remember the first lady at the time going to Standard and going crazy because they had written certain allegations against her. I don't know
Yes,
if
I remember.
you remember
Shwari
that?
showed me that video.
Yeah. So and that was the first term of Kibaki. The second time she was really chill because it was Serikali ya nusu mkate. But that is where I feel like the Uhuru presidency is where we've had the most, and the second term we've had the most press freedoms.
Okay.
Like we could actually say whatever, you know, and nobody would come get you at your house.
You think so?
Nobody. Maybe you'd be summoned by the DCI.
The
I mean,
Who was
where did
too
we lose?
busy stealing everything
Where
and
did-
sending it to Cameroon.
Where did we
Yeah,
lose?
that's true.
Where did we lose?
Island.
Ali.
we didn't lose him.
What
He just
happened?
got
This guy
enticed into
is a
politics.
very good reporter.
Yeah.
Talking about
And we're
that.
talking about
Yeah.
even before Uhuru Kenyatta becoming a president.
Yeah, he was
And
on
then I think
KTN.
after this guy
Him and
disappeared,
John Allen
and
Namu.
we stopped
But he
seeing
was
Jicho
bought.
Pevu.
And he was bought
He
off.
was
Yeah,
bought
that's what I'm
off.
asking because
What
he's
He
happened?
didn't
saying.
disappear. It was not freedom.
It's not
No,
abductions.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
We're talking about freedom of you know,
Expression,
yeah,
yeah.
journalists, you know,
Yeah.
being able to cover up stories.
I remember what you were saying.
You know,
Used to
Yeah,
reveal
there
a
was,
lot of
they were
Right.
actually really
Right.
threatened.
Exactly.
They were threatened by the regime at the time to stop running those stories. Because
so
they were exposing a whole
exactly.
lot.
And
Yeah.
so you can't tell me at during
No, but-
Kibaki ama during Uhuru, we've never, as Africa, I feel like we've threatened. It's just not that really
Comparatively.
exposed. We find bodies, and most of these cases even are not even covered up by media, because even media itself, and you've seen even with
It's
the
in bed
recent
with the government.
protests,
Yeah.
they are threatened.
So what I'm trying to say is
Now he
comparatively,
became the part of the government now.
yeah,
Yeah.
because after he was told to fold in,
Mm-hmm.
he was given a few bucks and told Endo Karan huko. You know.
Now, he's one of the people who voted yes.
And that's
on
why
this
you
financial
saw
bill.
you saw Namu
And then
head
the
out
guts to
of
say,
Kenya.
at the start, I'm not apologetic.
Yeah. That's why you
He's
see
in the
Namu
system.
is out of Kenya right
Yeah.
now. He's doing, I think he's in SA. Ask yourself why. Because that's why I say there's journalists in this country. Okay? People that you should respect. Journalists. And I'm gonna put some people like John Allen Namu up on that list. Kasavuli. You know.
I always feel like
They're journalists that put their reputation on the line, their
Okay.
lives,
okay.
to tell you the truth on a daily basis, that didn't take the buyout. Because those buyouts come. Because once you're investigating stories, especially these investigative journalists, they come after you. They come after you hard. Especially this country. What did we do to the Al Jazeera reporter? Disappeared him in Masai Mara real quick. I mean, that was still, hey, God damn, this far. You see how good PR is. Like, you can be the most despicable human being. I mean, we still like Belgian chocolate, right? You can be the most despicable human being, but as long as your PR is on point, we will love you.
Personally, Kamlesh, and I think
Is Toblerone Belgian? Or is it Dutch? Toblerone, the chocolates.
Yeah.
I think Belgian or
Belgian.
Dutch. Belgium.
Yeah. It should be.
And do you know how Belgians celebrate there's a holiday they celebrate with little chocolate hands. You know the significance.
Yeah, we know. So I feel like, which I've said,
If you do not meet the quota, we
You don't?
take your arm. Okay? You know, so they celebrate with little chocolate arms. You know, and it's a whole national thing. And they're so proud of it. But, you know, PR, bro. What? Anyway, Joby, you were saying?
you made me lose my train of thought.
What?
It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back.
But yeah, I lost mine as well.
Okay.
But at the end of it, I think what you're trying to say is media freedoms have never really been.
Okay, very
Yeah.
okay. So I feel like, and I think it's this week, Kata Monday, we spoke about when we were talking about bullying of
Yeah.
students in school, and how many teachers have managed to escape with even punishing students to the point of death.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
EA charge. Mm-hmm. To the
Yeah.
point of death.
Yeah, to the point of death.
Mhm.
And I said, I feel like when you go back to our system, Kitambo, if you go back to, if truly our system, how it is supposed to, I believe it is meant to work. Most of the people got their jobs, or you could go after a certain job because you have passion for it. Like where you personally, I've seen you, I want to use as an example, you have passion for the mic.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of the times actually we even see it. People, I think the first few weeks is a mandamano he was saying kabla penye yako saya na watu wakongelea history mbaya mbovu.
Bro,
You
have
know?
no idea.
Because there's that thirst of the mic, and I
Yeah.
I personally also do experience it.
Yeah.
And I gave an example of the teachers, and which I gave an example of a certain show I was listening to from a certain station, and this lady said she did this certain course, but she didn't go after that in terms of working. She went after her passion, and her passion was being with children.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, that is something so amazing. She said that actually being in the presence of children makes her happy, and seeing kids happy, that makes her happy too. You know, and I was like, that is actually, because they were talking about how there's certain books they promote. I can't remember the whole organization, but where they help children to learn, improve their grammar and reading and all that. So I was like, God damn, that is so amazing. And personally, I've always been speaking about people pushing and going after what they really, really love.
Yeah.
Being a doctor, you have to be, I'll give an example again, you have to be patient. But what we see in today's organization or public services in our hospitals, nurses don't give a F. Or they wanna drink TC and you even, suffer. They don't care because we're dealing with a system of nepotism, corruption, and a lot of bending, that is just happening in this system. So I feel like when you go back to also what we're talking about, where journalism, we should go back to understanding how is journalism supposed to work. And I feel, according to me, I loved journalism because of, I got interest because of seeing especially stories being covered. That is one thing that made me fall in love with it. Really, like seeing you covered a story today from this village. Okay, fine, you didn't just pick this up. Are you gonna come back with a certain sort of help? And I believe, solution or following up. Uliongelele this 2 months ago. What is happening after you covered up this story? I believe that is how journalism should actually be operating. Where you should be able to cover up story till the end, ensure people in the society that actually the system is working. But because we're dealing with actually as mainstream media or a system of journalists that are controlled on their expression, on their research. Shout out to Muhammad Ali, because I think he really was full spirited into it. Lulu Hassan as well, because Lulu Hassan was also covering up these stories on KTN. Walikuwa na nani. Say right now she's just a reporter. She's gonna report what she's given, but you can't go back to the ground to just give people facts on what is happening in reality. You have to hide the numbers of the reality of what is happening. So I feel like when you talk about attacks and everything, first let's understand what really draws people to journalism. That is what I'm trying to say.
And journalists,
or how should it be expressed? What is it really all about? What do people expect in our society? Because I want to give a perfect example of the Kware situation. Kuna mtu amekuwa akiongea and I really love his expression and confidence. Amekuwa akisema he hates the fact that media is lying. The number of bodies that have been retrieved is 6. Well, the number of bodies have been retrieved, by that time it was 13. And it was like, pia media wanafaa wasalimiwe kwa sababu there's no you're gonna keep on capping about what we can see. We are so on the ground, we're here, we can see the number, but there you go report lies and you are here with us. So I feel like that is what people want, cover up the true reality of what is happening. And that is what actually, even when you go back to still covering up of stories, how did you get HIV? How can we help? Okay, you are experiencing typhoid. This because of this, and this, and because of this water. How can we help? Next time, people got watafurahia kukuona umerudi in the same community, because you're not coming back just to ask for their voice. You're bringing back help. So we should be able to come back with help as we cover up stories. That is what I'm talking about.
The role of media is to highlight. Okay,
I agree.
So and this is something that is covered in media ethics. Like, you cannot buy stories, and that is how when you tend to give monetary something for a story, it can be misinterpreted as you buying a story from somebody in need. That's why journalists will go, they'll give you the food they have, but they'll never, even in those, unless they find a really bad situation, you know, they'll never really come with like Shikani Maunga or whatever. It's really to cover the story, to highlight the situation as is, reporting
Yeah, I'm not saying that
accurately.
Mangunga, Manini,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to give an example.
Yeah. What I'm trying to show you is how that can be easily misinterpreted as incentivizing for stories,
Okay.
which can illegitimize a really important aspect that you're trying to portray.
But I still believe, Kamlesh, it's
So
not about.
what,
it's
what
not
I'm
about
what I'm trying to say
giving
is
out.
what most of these media houses do, okay? They partner with other organizations that do what you're trying to say. You get that's why they go cover these stories in certain areas. Unaona organization flani after went
Okay.
and helped.
Okay. Okay.
You get
Okay.
because now without them going to show the world what is happening, nothing would have been known. Now these organizations reach out to these media houses and then they give the information to how and where these people are and how the kind of help they need. And then help is
But how many times are we going to see that? Because I want to give a very good example with countries like Congo, Sudan,
Yeah.
even Kenya. Just let me not go far. Our
Yeah.
very own country, Turkana, Marsabit. We know there are places where there is war.
Yeah.
These people require aid in terms of food. But it was last year we saw Kenya, kuna watu wanakufa na njaa, but the president took food in Somali, which I'm not saying and criticizing that, hey, we should not
You
help
should.
our fellow people
No, but
if
you
you have
should.
plenty. Yeah, I'm not criticizing that.
Yeah.
But if
We
you talk
don't have
about
plenty.
nimeelewa point yako vizuri sana where where the media needs to cover its own part, and we have organizations which need to come and cover
The
whole
ethics.
the situation, what is affecting the community.
Yeah.
But how many times do they come? That is my question. And is the media allowed to go back to the same? Because for me,
Yeah, you're
for
allowed to
me,
do a follow-up
I'm
on a
dragged
story.
back to go, even if it's gonna be a year or 2 years later. I wanna see go back how is and ensure showcase the people like, hey, the situation in this area or community is improving and this organization is still coming back. I don't want it to be for clout,
So-
don't show the
Can I
world
answer that?
to show the
Yeah.
world that, hey, the organization is just working one time
Yeah.
for clout. No.
I get you.
Can I
Sure.
give my thought about it? First and foremost, the media has, and I want to agree with Kamlesh and Joby both at the same time, the media has its function, and I believe that is communication, right? Creating knowledge and communicating to people. This is what is happening.
Yeah.
And for example, if it is maybe a place that has drought, right, and it's supposed to be followed up, as a media personnel, I still believe you don't have to give the or give them food literally, because it's just gonna give another thought about it or biasness. But when you give that information, who is supposed to do that work? Who is supposed to be ensuring that that place has been attended to? That is the
Exactly.
follow-up. Now you follow as a media personnel. You follow up to that person.
So-
You don't personally, I still want to say what attracted me to the media was passing knowledge. And of course, let us not say there's an impact that you can do. It doesn't have to be physical.
Yeah.
But what should you do with your career? All right, there's a problem here. You have cancer. Why don't I follow up to an organization or who is supposed to be actually making sure that cancer treatment goes well and is cheap or even is free? The Ministry of Health. I go back and do something about that, right? And I make sure that at the end of the day, there's an impact to those who have cancer. And I believe
Yep.
that is your function as a media personnel, not actually going to give them money to treat or
But
offering.
to-
Yes, but you can actually make an impact by following up to the person who is responsible to ensuring that that place or there's an impact of the message you gave out. Because even if you're saying I'm gonna announce, all right, this place is like this, we're supposed to ensure that roads are supposed to be good in Rongai. Exactly. What is the MCA doing?
Yeah.
Let me go and check out, is the MCA really working?
Yeah.
And I give the full information about the MCA without being biased. If
Yeah.
he's corrupt, if he's not working,
Yeah.
and let the right authorities follow up with him so that it can
I
work.
agree.
So at the end of the day, this road is actually functioning well Because I personally, as a media personnel, I did my part.
Your part.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you serve as the voice.
Yes,
of
or the
the
intermediary.
More the
Yeah,
voice.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
You highlight and you tell the truth.
Exactly.
And that's why you see journalists lose their lives all the time. There was that Al Jazeera lady that was killed in Gaza, if you all remember. She
Yeah.
was shot dead by Israeli snipers. Okay?
There's also this one that was killed in Dubai.
we,
Was it
we've,
Dubai?
we've had Ambani who walked into the consulate, never came out. We've seen the other journalist that was done for in Kenya, Al Jazeera journalist still. We've seen countless journalists seek asylum due to their own safety in Kenya, and it's a career that, if you're courageous, is full of peril.
It's dangerous. If you want to tell the truth, because you're in a world of corruption, it's dangerous.
It's very
Because you're
dangerous.
right.
Yeah, and it requires guts, really, like to be able to leave your family, go to a war-torn country to report the truth while ducking bullets. It takes a lot of courage to go to a country that is protesting and you're in the middle of the street getting tear gassed so that you can tell the truth. It is not easy and never has been. But saying that, our safety should never be put into question. Accidents happen, fine. Okay? If maybe I trip and fall, hurt my ankle or whatever, accidents that are supposed to happen will happen. But at no point should I be under threat by government or any other forces because I'm telling the truth. It's the old truth of you never kill the messenger. Okay? Even if I bring you a message that you don't like, give me the response that I should deliver, because it is not my message. It is you on camera shooting a guy, me recording you shooting a guy who was protesting peacefully, and me saying that guy shot that guy. End of story. It is your actions that crucify you. And the fact that you're holding me accountable and wanting to eliminate journalists or put journalists in positions of peril is society failing. It is a government failing actively, because journalists are a very good instrument to governments that work. Because you'll never need to be told hii serikali inafanya kazi if serikali inafanya kazi. It will be us telling you that project is done. This and this can now happen easily in this country. It will be us covering your praises as the politician. You'll never ask anyone to sing your praises. You'll never have to buy bloggers. You'll never have to buy activists.
Like media houses, kind of with media houses, we've seen some government officials who own or have some.
What do you mean? The
media
former
houses.
president owns
Yeah.
Media Max.
And we could see the only thing they were showcasing is everything good that they were
About
showing
it.
in the eyes of the people.
Yep.
And we also saw previously some media houses being threatened because they're basically pricing information that are facts,
Yep.
and they don't want to do that.
Oh, happy. No, it needs syphilis.
Oh, I tell you.
Syphilis
It's
network.
gonorrhea.
No, Nicagonorrhea
Wow.
network.
But I've also
What
seen
happened?
like
That's a guy, you don't know.
Switch TV is owned by the president. You
Yeah.
know that?
Wow, what
Yeah.
line?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's owned by, it was bought off by him, I think last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
Okay.
they were doing
Hiyo time ilifungwa, you
yeah,
remember?
they were rebranding
Rebranding.
to another platform. That's why they shut it down. And I remember journalists were on TikTok. I think there was this Kikuyu journalist Nasema yani hata wangegonja tukule Christmas.
I know.
Ai, wametufuta tu hivyo
I
hivyo.
know.
And
Wala alifutaje kazi.
One time,
friends who walifutwa.
they were declared redundant immediately. There was no even a kesho ama nini. And they weren't even paid.
The one man, it was crazy.
What? Oh man, shout out to. Hey,
And they
you
own
all don't know
a
who
lot
you all
of,
voted
a lot of
for.
shares.
They do?
Yeah, they own a lot of. If you want to see that, look at during election.
Yes.
You can see the biasness of.
Yep.
There is one that is supporting this party
What do
so
you mean?
much.
So,
There is this one that
Citizen
is,
inakwanga ya ODM.
eh,
So,
literally.
you all
yeah.
should understand these
Yeah.
things.
We don't
NTV
know that.
inakwanga the other one.
Yeah.
Whichever is opposing ODM is
Yeah.
where NTV is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KTN is no to the highest bidder.
They always biased.
And then Media Max was by the former. So they sang praises of the former.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the latter learned that in order to function well as El Presidente, you need your own mouthpiece. And got himself one. But apparently it is not functioning like Media Max. You know, because first of all, how do you fire? And it was one of the hottest new TV stations in the country. I mean, it had Shafi well.
Yeah, man.
How do you just
I know.
and this is where I like nature. And anytime somebody tells you nature doesn't happen even in business, is totally wrong. Any vacuum will automatically be filled. Okay? So they shut down Switch TV. And here comes TV 47 now buy Radio 47 now buy, like they're trying to fill in that gap that has been left by the departure of man, it's beautiful. But yeah, any sentiments on how the political class is handling journalism in Africa?
Come again?
That's what she said. Dang. Can't help myself. But I know, right? Do you have any sentiments to how African regimes handle journalists when they're reporting the truth? Let's assume in regards to the Rwandese matter, like, what does it take for the media to cover you favorably? You know, for you to get a 99.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I believe what people really know, most people really know about Rwanda is the good part of it, and how it's thriving, and how it's heaven on earth.
Yeah.
They don't really know what's happening deep down in the country, and it's because of everything. We have some parts on YouTube where people are really talking about it, but if you basically go out on the street and ask people about what they've heard about Rwanda, they will tell you about, oh my god, I'd love to visit there, it's just an amazing.
Super clean.
That's what everybody
You
gives
can
you.
eat in the sewage. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I
You can
believe
drink sewer water.
a lot of them really.
Like anytime you see a
Threaten
Rwandese,
them.
let them piss on you. That's rain.
Shout out to
Yeah.
that girl. What's the name? Odema.
But
Yeah.
by the way, did you see that they accused somebody of being the serial killer?
Yes.
I mean,
I think he surrendered.
no. That there is no surrender.
The
about
campus
that.
guy?
No, see the guy they say that has been killing since 2022. What is Emily Aziozi since then?
Is he the one who surrendered?
Is he the one who surrendered? Did he surrender? I think he was.
They went to hunt him down.
Wakayole, yeah.
Huyo mtoto amjui.
You know,
I saw people saying that they say he lives 200 meters away. People who live 200 meters away have said they don't know him. They've never seen that face. And then they shout out to media, Kenyan media. I saw a media vlog. I don't know if it's a vlog or a media station. Imeenda ushago kwao kukava hii story. Mlisema natoka wapi? For real, I was like, mlisema natoka wapi? Tuko kwao tunataka kujua ni nani. Like people are taking, like this is now why I love media. literally, that
20.
is their work.
Let us
You say
find
the
the truth.
DCI,
Exactly.
this is their place. Let's go find the truth and let me report the truth even before you get there.
Yeah.
They ain't lying. They ain't no shady business. You wanna know?
I have a clue.
Talk about it.
Umseni mfungo.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And he's apparently maybe
He
being
was even
offered.
smiling.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
talk about his posture. It was
Yeah.
just very chill.
And he's
not
probably
even scared at all.
being offered reduced time or monetary, whatever, to his family
Right.
if he takes. Because there's no reduced time. You're basically being added time, but it's like now they're buying your life.
Exactly.
Okay? I think that's what's happened. I think this is an inmate that is being used as a scapegoat. That's my theory. Because it doesn't fit that nobody knows him, where they say he's from. The name they had given is wrong. And just the scientific act of knowing body decomposition. Okay? These bodies are decomposed at the same rate. So if I kill you in 2022 and I kill another one in 2024, the decomposition rate won't be the same.
Exactly.
So why are you, and how are panties evidence, bro? Kwani demu yangu akiacha ngoza kwangu?
What are they using ITEL phones, all of them?
Ah, monoko. What Jesus this shit, bwana? Tie
Let's
shit.
see kwani zote tu ni
That-
old.
monoko
Hakuna
tie
talent.
shit.
Hata hiyo panga ni mzee.
Monoko
2022
tie
tumekuwa na
shit.
masimu mpya. Unataka kuniambia huyu msee anapenda tu
I
vienyeji
know.
wote. Kwani
Ati.
Na panti mpya zenye walibai huko hivyo
eti
tao.
hadi wanaume wote tu wako na
Tunapenda
ITEL.
vienyeji tupu.
Mjini kinyumba.
Alisema walisema ni Wesley Queens walikuwa hapo. So
Man.
Ucheki maslay queen anavangi hizo vitu.
no, like
Ni
no.
Mothers Union.
Like there's a video I was watching on TikTok. The guy saying the bodies that were seen there was one among watu walikuwa hapo kwa rape,
Ni mapeng.
mapeng.
Kai, yaani wanatumadia mabadis wetu ndio wanapeleka kware. Dai baridi. Unajua ndio maana probably vijana na sahii Nairobi manzi wanateseka hivyo sana.
Madema wako.
Badi wake ako kware anakula baridi bwana. Anashangaa udem, yaani udem alinitoka tu hivi na venye tulikuwa tume udem. Au jui kumbe manze dem yako alichinjwa na si vizuri.
It's the same thing we were saying yesterday. Aki desperation, man.
Yeah.
Desperation outside there is making people man.
Yeah.
Especially ladies. God damn.
Yeah,
Desperation
that's
is
so
really pushing people to death. Because most of the cases we've seen even this year at the beginning of the year, femicide. Like women apartments being pushed. I don't know what. What were you going for?
Yeah.
At 3 p.m.
Okay. Let
2
me
a.m. in the morning.
Can
3
we
a.m. in the
have that
morning.
conversation constructively? Because I feel like it's all cooled down a bit now around that issue. I feel like there's something happening
Okay.
and there's a narrative being drawn. What is femicide? Why do we have to assign gender to murder? Why do we have to make it about a certain gender? Because even men get murdered, right? No, like what it should be is homicide.
Okay, I
Okay,
agree,
like
Cameron.
it's all people getting murdered.
I agree.
So
That's the Europeans determining this shit exactly. Homicide is homicide, whether it's female or male.
Exactly.
That's
I
their,
agree.
that's their convoluted ass mind always coming in to make shit all fucked up.
I agree, and I think we discussed this.
Yeah,
We
no,
did.
no, this is not for us, it's for everybody. Okay? Can we agree that there is an agenda that is being driven and that, rationally speaking, we are not even in charge of the agenda? I feel like we are given a script.
Of course, Africa's not in charge of shit. Okay, on the bottom.
And they have to toe this script to drive a certain agenda to a certain cause. Because what they're trying to do, in my opinion, is to create the same feminists they have in the West here. was watching something, and if it's true, that community can back me up. Apparently, daughters of the mountain are never taught how to maintain a marriage or to keep a man happy, but they are prepared in case it fails. Yeah. The narrative they're given is, have you ever handled
you said where? Mount
the
Kenya?
daughters of the mountain?
Uh-huh.
And if you realize, they have the highest prevalence of single motherhood. Okay, so their priorities are pesa, watoto, mzee, and that's how they give priority. That's why they are taught before even marrying, kuwa na kapesa. Okay, and when we're not saying it's wrong, don't get me wrong, other communities do that too, and your kids you're taught are more valuable than your
Husband.
yes. When you have other certain communities where you're taught to be the whole package, like good example is the coastal communities, okay, where they even go to like an older woman when they are about to be married to wanafunzwa kuhandle bwana yao in the boudoir. You know, like how to make this man, how to pweza this man. You know, see, she's wearing the appropriate whatever. Like, so I was like French it up, you know, Frenchy, you know. But what they are taught is, and I'll use the narrative that lady used. Who's ever handled napier grass? Napier grass is a cut.
Yeah, it's
that's
true.
okay.
Okay? So they are taught mwanaume ni kama napier grass. Huwezi mwelewa. Anaweza cut anytime.
Okay.
So you umejipanga.
Okay.
So it's one foot in, one out kind of scenario at any point in time. That's why once they've made up their mind to like go, like they're gone. And that's why you see them having such a high prevalence. And it was one of their women saying it, okay? The daughters of the mountain are never prepared for marriage, but what might happen if the marriage doesn't work. Which is a whole thing that shows you how deep the feministic agenda is seeping into our culture. Because before, even then, they'd be taught how to handle their husbands in their culture. You get? So you see this whole agenda of trying to demonize the masculinity that should exist in society. Because the minute it stops being homicide and it's femicide, what you're saying is men are killing women in society. It's no longer there's a murderer killing people. So it's sexes being pitted against each other in our own community to create division, which is, as we've discussed with Joby a few times, how the black household was divided. In the US, okay, they divide you, right? They divide you from the nucleus, from the home, from the family. And now, what you get is rebellious sons that have never been taught by their fathers how to harness that rebellion and how to overcome it and how to get out of that and figure out your masculinity. It's girls that are overcompensating with hyper masculinity because they've never experienced security at home, because they don't have that fatherly figure to give them that security. You get? And that's, now you create a society where girls don't mind body counts and guys don't understand the spiritual connection of putting your ding-a-ling everywhere.
Exactly. Your body count.
So you see how we create today's society.
Yeah.
And now, after you create
like what
that,
your mom says, what does body count matter? Let me tell you. Every time a woman takes in a man, you absorb his DNA. His DNA.
you say takes
Every
in
man
what?
you take in you taking his DNA. You better look that up. That's why a woman can't sleep with a bunch of men. That body count is dangerous for women. The DNA, you taking up people's fucked up DNA. So, because the creator expected you to be as loyal to one man that was worthy of you, not to be sleeping around. Hate to tell you, women, go look it up.
Keith, and that's the funny bit, because when the colonialists were coming in, they knew we understood those things. So they never amplified those things.
They sure did.
Like, and not to like give props or knock off the Bible in any way. It even emphasizes on fidelity, like he shouldn't be a hoe, even for a man. Okay?
Well, that's all spiritual shit they got from us, but that was just
Yeah,
that was
Keith, I'm getting to that, right? But we understood that. And they brought us their Christianity, which contained those teachings that they got from us still, but they never amplified those teachings here. What they amplified here was, man, the poorer you are, okay?
The happier you are.
My bro, you in heaven. Tunaenda. Just teseka, bro. Teseka. Give me your shit. Give me your cows. That's probably what they say to Museveni. Museveni's like, no! I'm gonna give you the nation, not my cows. My cows. Man, just imagine the bride price for like Museveni's daughter. He'll probably ask you for like 600 cows because he thinks like it's normal to have 600 cows still. Like, bro, I got money, no 600 cows. The hell you mean? Sell me your 600 cows. What? He's like, I have a friend. Sends me to Rwanda to his boys. I buy 600 Kagame cows. Take him to his boys. Across the border.
Right?
Yeah, successfully secure myself
With them boys.
with boys.
Looks like if you fuck his sister up, it comes to
Yo, man, with like a cow horn or something. This man probably goes like before like he gets pissed off. Damn. Oh, I wonder what a symbol hata Uganda si ng'ombe. Mimi nakwanga na ng'ombe mingi. But ni makondo, probably ni kondo. Like no, they have very kondo tactics. Like how do you follow a man for years? Is it 35? Like his presidency is older than me. Damn it. Yeah? Really? Nah, it would have made perfect sense. Man, because even if I was Ugandan, I'd move, man. I'd be like, take me where I can protest. Probably that's why you are traumatized in like seeing protests in real life. That's how we do democracy.
Got it.
You know.
How long has every time been in Kenya? Yeah, that's the question. How long you been in Kenya every time?
45
Uganda.
years.
45 years?
Never.
Like
Someone
her
never.
parents came here, so she's Kenyan.
Yeah.
Sema never.
Yeah, she's always been here.
Sema never.
Well, you've always been there, so
What is the question?
But you are 20
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called
The
banter.
mother is the one that
Like
is
that.
Uganda.
We shall banter your heritage.
your parents took Canvas advice and got the hell out of it.
Yeah, I bet me and your folks would get along. Like,
She's banange.
you know, like,
Oh
Banange.
my gosh.
Nah, it's Banange.
Oh my
You say that
gosh.
is?
Oh my gosh.
You say that is?
See, she's telling you.
my gosh.
Oh my
Ah.
gosh. Banange.
For real?
Yeah.
Hey, it is kustuka. But yesterday you said
Maria,
No, she said
Maria's
one
mother
day,
went
one
the
day
opposite way. Shit.
no.
She met a damn Ugandan man and left Kenya and moved to Uganda.
What?
Like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, Maria's half Kenyan. Her mom's Kenyan.
Wait, she moved to Uganda?
Yeah.
Man,
Over her husband.
that's like being retrogressive. with your life
But
and your
you-
freedoms.
No,
Okay?
But
Straight
your
to your
husband,
husband.
is in Uganda.
Tafuta Mkenya bwana. Kwani
Why?
No, you
tumekata
fell in
aje?
love with the Ugandan. What's wrong with you?
If these are the
Who?
words you're supposed
You
to
like
do.
sasa me I'm supposed to say
Sisi ni wa
I look for a
precious.
Kenyan and my interest
Numero
is in Uganda.
uno
I
Africa.
know.
I'm gonna look for whatever is happening.
Love
in
doesn't
Museveni.
choose.
And,
guys.
but you know, Ugandans need
Matter
special
is-
condoms, so we understand.
Wow. Why, Kamlesh? Why?
Hey. I mean, if you gotta
Where's
order
that- where's
yours
that coming
custom,
from?
okay? If you gotta order yours custom, you can
Yeah,
take anybody girl,
you just
okay?
said that, oh my.
I mean, if a Ugandan rolls up to your hood with his like XXXXL condom, okay?
There's no such.
I don't know.
That is a
I'm
donkey.
not Ugandan. Maybe Ugandans are out there competing with donkeys and shit.
That is a donkey.
Like whom say-
Why you XXX what?
Is donkey kitoa pia nakuanga like
But they say
unakishia
they want their
nani?
own side. They want custom made.
Yeah, they were like, yo, you got a custom for us, man.
Wash.
You know, like, like we need like the Ugandan edition.
Wash and wear.
Durex, the Ugandan
Wash and
edition. It's only pig skin, but you know, that's a very bad joke.
Well,
Stinky
Bad.
joke, parasitic joke. But all in all, as you speak about the truth and the plight that we go through
Okay.
in our quest to tell the truth, we have to tell the people to stand with.
what are some of the challenges you've faced?
Personally?
Yeah.
Ah man,
Being on the ground or being on air?
especially I'm very vocal. Okay, so and this is something I didn't even say. Every time nilikujianga na after like my interview with Babu, nilikujianga na some people at the time because he was opposition. And every time there is whatever, they have to check in at my stoop. Always. And they always keep tabs.
Up to date?
Yeah, like even the other time, niliambiwa people venye sikuwa huko. Like people still came and knocked. And sasa niliambiwa na majirani. Because they know, like they've done that a few times. The first time they came, like they were looking for like the herbal life, right? But what really they were talking about is the studio. Like, you know, you don't need like licenses for this, right? Like, you can pretty much say it's your hobby,
Yeah.
right? But that's how they came in. And anyway, you get harassed a lot. There is the becoming a person of interest in your community because they know you'll be the one to speak up if anything happens. There is the you'll be broke for a while aspect of journalism, which is a challenge I feel like a lot of journalists face. I mean, have you seen photos of or videos of like Mado when he was starting?
Yeah.
Damn! I mean, I can't wait to like see mine in 30 years watu wakiwa like, guy, can't let you know when you ulikuwa umekonda.
I know, that's true.
You know, or damn! Haikuwa mbaya hivyo.
Not like that. I mean, what? It's like, yeah, we're gonna be checking back and be like, hey,
Yeah,
you know, the growth.
And then it's your job is never friendly to you as a journalist. Your job doesn't care about public holidays.
Holidays.
You know, which sucks, man.
I know.
Okay? Because it's Christmas. What you mean? You need me to give you news. The news is Merry Christmas.
But-
The hell? Okay, Saturnalia. You know, to those that know how Christmas started, happy Saturnalia. But, yeah. And you can literally be given an assignment anywhere. Let's assume like you're working for like a big media outlet. Umeamka umeambia bibi yako, we are having dinner today, kidogo kidogo. Good evening. straight from Wajir, where
Chini ni boxers.
you know, the good evening.
Chini suti.
Oh, yeah.
Ndio unameza chakula.
So we are in Wajir, where we are covering a story, and you're there for like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Where I mean, Larry is barely ever in any country.
Yeah.
You know, like Larry is a good example of you need how many visas to travel across Africa. You know, like this man is.
All over.
You know, I wonder, and his girlfriend too. Oh, it's not official yet. You know, with her 77 club with DW, she's always crisscrossing the country.
Wow. Talk about it.
You know, like that's like a real power media couple.
7-7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm?
there's 77% on DW. Edith Kimani.
I can call him the love by.
Oh.
Thank you.
I get where you were saying, but
Talk
nah.
about it. Wow.
I get where she was going with it,
I know.
but that's not what I was saying. But it's like a real power couple. I don't even know how they like manage to work
That's
out
why
that
you
relationship.
work with somebody who is oriented.
You know, like have the same interest as you.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yes.
what's
You meet each
what's
other
their
and you're like,
miles, by the way?
yes,
Their
it's been
airplane
5
miles?
years.
Like probably Larry there's a book like Kawaida na miles zake tu zimweke first class.
Exactly.
This man lives in the air more than he walks on land.
Literally.
You know, and then it's like good seats, like business class, like waiting. Man, but props to him. Like you, and this is where you see where really you gotta put in the work. Like how he left Kenya, he was like, what? And nobody could fathom how far ahead he could go. Like after NTV, sasa utaenda. But he had a bigger picture, and that's the beauty of journalism as well.
And self-belief.
Yeah, you can work anywhere. You know what was her name? Shout out to her, Zain Verji. She was on CNN. She was Kenyan. You know, Jeff Koinange was also BBC, CNN. Also Larry, BBC, CNN. You see Edith Kimani on DW.
Victor Rubadiri.
You know, and there's such a big platform it's such a challenging field, by the way, but there's such a big platform for you to do meaningful work. And as we talk about the challenges, we also have to talk about the perks. Like, how many people in life actually get to do a job that can change lives? You know, a job that can change perspective on a larger scale. And that's why I feel like journalists, you need a calling. Not having me, I didn't go to school for this. I don't know even how I found myself in this. I just knew I could always do this, you know. And it's that quest for truth, that quest for speaking your mind. But yeah, what are some of your challenges, Joby, that you faced in this?
Personally, for me, number one was gaining confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like coming out and being bold enough to even now do research. Because when I was starting, I was like, guy, I'm so scared. I don't know who's watching me and everything. But the more you actually figure out the truth and understanding the truth and how impactful the truth can be to other people, you know, it drives you more and gives you more confidence to keep going. So for me, I feel like number one, challenge number one was building my confidence, but which eventually right now, we're ready. We kick it. Yeah, we kick it. But I feel like it was even before me starting. Like just being bold on on my TV talking. Because I feel like it starts with, like you're saying, it's a calling. It starts with even you being able to just talk to other people, being able to just do a lot, like in front of camera.
Yeah.
It starts with that. Secondly, I feel like it's been I've never received negative comments, but I feel like something that journalists, I'll speak on behalf of others, is they receive very negative comments. And I want to give a good example.
Breaking news. Governor Abdi Guyo of Isiolo County spent 1 million Kenyan shillings on a crate of soda.
What?
Wallah.
Yeah,
On a
you're
crate?
late.
Yeah.
Crate of sodas. That's what I was thinking. This
Sodas are a crate or soda.
crate of soda.
Nita. Yeah. Let's talk about journalism.
1 million.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenya has money. Me doesn't let no one tell me we don't have money. We just need accountability, man.
Yeah.
This country has money.
Maybe
Hey,
don't
there's
be
a lot
less
of
than
money.
thou, Chris.
People have money. Oh my god. Hey, they just need accountability. So I was saying secondly, families.
Yeah.
When you confuse.
Journalism.
Yeah.
The courage it takes,
Yeah, so
and
confidence for me, I feel like that was have been the number one challenge. Secondly, I forgot what I was saying, but I'll.
You are talking about people calling out.
Yeah, negative comments.
comments,
Yeah, I
yeah.
feel like personally I've not faced that, but I feel like for on behalf of other journalists, they do face that a lot. But something I've faced, secondly, as for me, is covering up stories, which comes up with so many emotions sometimes. Just being able to go back to stories, actually, number one, it feels so good to cover up stories from, even if it is something that happened a few years ago, and then you see an update about it, and you go back trying to enable people connect the dots. It makes me so happy, but at the same time it is so challenging because some of the stories are so heavy. You know, if you report stories coming from, let's say, places like Congo, DRC, I feel like they're super heavy for me. And I feel like that is the biggest challenge I do face personally as a journalist, you know, with the mixture of emotions, which actually Kay Williams was asking me, Jana ama Juicy. It's just a mixture of emotions with the growth and everything in it. Yeah, so I feel like for me it's that too. Confident, which I am very okay right now, and covering up stories, which I gain strength. Yeah, I gain strength at the same time. It's not really easy, but we keep pushing because it's the call you're given. Yeah.
Challenges, man. I feel like doing my podcast is something which I really understood, and maybe you feel like you'd say anything that really makes sense to you and you understand it without feeling the fear of maybe being shut down by anybody, because maybe you don't understand whatever you're saying at the time, and that's okay. But when you're in a very public and open space, it's like you have to say the right thing always, and it's like that fear of you
Being
always,
judged.
yeah, and like maybe I don't have to say anything because you fear you might be shut down, but you still have to say something.
True.
So it's that fear
I agree
of,
with that.
am I saying the right thing?
The right thing,
Am I gonna be shut down because I'm not saying the right
Are you going
thing?
to see the police at your door?
You know? So you always have to get your things at
Right.
hand and right, because these are people listening,
I agree.
and you can't say anything that is not on point or not the
Exactly.
truth.
True.
Yeah, so it's the fact that you just have to understand what you're saying and basically do your research in regards to this is the facts, you have evidence, and to the people who are listening, you can basically account for it. You're very accountable to every word that you're saying because everybody is listening.
Yeah.
So you cannot just say anything.
Yeah.
But if you know in your on your TikTok, on your whatever, you can
give your opinion.
your opinion. Thank you. You can
Yeah.
give your opinion, and nobody's gonna come at you.
Exactly.
They will, but it's not gonna be like a big deal like
Yeah.
that, because you always maybe go back and do another video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you say something maybe political or in the social economic sector, and it's not something that is on point or it's not the truth, and it's like a very public media station,
Yeah.
people never forget that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge I've really been facing, or I can say I face.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
My challenges, first, as somebody who is just learning, when you're on the come up of media, when you're just starting, like your first years or whatever, of course there is building confidence. The way you say, it's not easy to build that confidence, but if it is in you, it will just come out regardless. It comes out with time, and we always say practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
That is first challenge. Number two, a challenge on the streets, rejection. That is something that you also have to work with as a journalist.
Yep.
Rejection will come in a lot of ways. When you're on the streets, you want to talk to somebody doesn't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
How do you take it? Do you feel some type of way? If you invite somebody for an interview or a
Right.
talk,
They
they always fail to come. Some want money,
Yeah.
some want favors and stuff like that, and sometimes you're not even be able to do that at that time. So there's a challenge of rejection. Calling out, on social media, which Kenya has the freedom, and we should actually appreciate that we still have that, is you know, people calling you out on whenever you talk. There's gonna be comments. There's gonna be somebody who has always something to say, negative comments, positive comments. But it goes deep down to how do you take it, and as a journalist, you know, because at the end of the day, the comments are always sometimes are very irrelevant. You're like, I'm talking about this. Why don't you give your opinion about this? Why are you talking about how I look like, or how I've not made my teeth, or how, you know, there's always just shady comments around. So those are some of the challenges, and of course, there's expectation from the society. A lot of expectation. Number one, some people expect you as a journalist to be like living a certain type of lifestyle. So every time you're gonna be saying, or they want, there's this mainstream media they're expecting to be working out. So if you're like, oh, unafanya radio gani, unafanya TV gani, there's always that question, and you have to answer. You have to explain all the time, and sometimes people judge you because they're like, I've never had that. I want to work with this person. So there's always that challenge when you're working with a broader, you know, number of people. And just the same way, societal perspectives. If you, like, for example, I remember if I walk this road, sometimes I meet people, the ones who used to work, you know, work with the word on the streets and interview. They still want you to buy them stuff. Yeah, they want. Sometimes they're like, hey, nishikie, or do this, because in their perspective, you're supposed to be living that type of lifestyle. So there is that societal perspective. Also, the society expects you to know a lot of stuff, which is challenging, because I believe as a media personnel or practitioner, every day is learning a new thing.
I agree.
Something you didn't know yesterday, you know today. You have to go and study about it, have facts, just like you what says, because if you don't have facts, they'll refer to you, and you're gonna be in trouble. Because if they say, oh, Joby told me, Joby, where did you get all this? Kindly explain. And maybe you were just spreading rumors. So it goes back to also the societal perspective. A journalist is supposed to be really, really smart, really, really updated about stuff. Sometimes when you come here, you're like, you don't know that? I can't know everything,
That's
you know.
fact.
Exactly, I can't know everything.
Yeah.
It's learning process each and every day. So it becomes like both challenges outside your space, inside, and also the societal perspectives of that. There's of course threats that come with that, mostly when you get into serious conversations about politics, government, and stuff. You'll meet people who'll be like, why are you talking? Even as low as even if you want to capture about an MCA, he'll come to you like, why are you talking about my work? Why are you saying that? You know, so there is everyday challenge of being a journalist. So those are my top, I think, challenges that I've faced ever since I started all this.
Okay.
What are you saying?
Oh, lot. But that is very true. There are a lot of challenges. Also, something I didn't know that I learned with time is research. How to do research, like proper, digging deep to know stuff. And I feel like it's something a lot of us in society should teach ourselves how to do. If it's easily available, it's probably a lie. Go get the truth from the source if you can. If you can't, get from the person that got it from the source. Learn to do research, and I feel like it's something that is taught really late in our education system, because most people start learning how to do research probably while they're doing their masters. It's not even that much during your degree, really. You really start doing proper research at like master's level, and then like doing your thesis with PhDs, and that is, I feel like, a very basic component of being able to have comprehensive thoughts, like fully analyzed thoughts that have been researched. Most people just think and then decide it's facts. You know, they trump it out. They mag it out. They assassinate themselves fatally it out. You know, then they shoot their ear it out.
They bandage it out.
Oh man, I'm like, you gotta love politics. I don't get people who don't love politics. Like, politics is like Hollywood on steroids. and then it's bad actors.
And
Okay,
it's
then
funny.
yeah, and then it's not on camera. Yeah, it is on camera, but it's live. Okay,
It's funny and it's not.
like imagine this, a script. This is a movie. Protesters protesting. They run into a church, and the police run in and whoop the ass out of church. They run into a hospital, and then you get like that is how good politics is of a script. Like it's comedy without even trying. Like now, put funny sounds every time they fall down. It's basically Charlie Chaplin.
I miss that.
You know,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
comedy was always him getting into
Yeah.
accidents, him going through the war oblivious
Yes.
while people are, you know,
Mhm.
is put that.
I think he's living in his world.
When you're living through war, you gotta create your own world
Yes,
in here.
that's a fact.
War is a very ugly
I
thing.
was having fun though.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was addicted to drugs.
No, I'm saying in the movie.
Oh,
His
yeah.
comedies.
Yeah, in the comedy, he
Yeah.
seems to be having fun.
Yeah.
But in real life, that man was going through it. But yeah, comedy comes from a very dark place. But
Yeah.
you can tell us some of your views down below. As we come to close to the conclusion of the show, you can tell us your opinions in the comments below. What you think, what you're inspired to do with your life, you know, in regards to this conversation. Mosquito. To just say what? Ding-a-ling-a-ling. But yeah. You can tell us your comments below what you think. Some of the stories that you've seen of journalists getting oppressed. If you can also tag us in videos on all our social media handles of any fight or any discrimination against journalists. And we've seen the Kenya Guild of Editors come out and say that if the violence against journalists does not stop, they are threatening a 7-day strike. And yeah, it's something that should be observed, because it is not normal to have journalists put under threat and getting shot at while trying to cover stories. Okay? But yeah, this has been one of the most amazing shows ever. Tell your friends, tell their friends to go check out this episode on YouTube. I feel like we've been having such amazing conversations lately on
Yeah,
Tubonge.
I agree.
You know, and E is finally talking. Yeah, so check it out. Tell your friends to check it out. Yeah, this is the best place to be, and we are on TV now, man. Y'all heard that?
Yeah, but yeah.
We on TV. Who told you? Switch it off. But yeah, till next time, this has been Tubonge with the one and only Camlish.
J-O-B-Y.
Hello, every time.
SH, the money plans.
Until next Wednesday, keep it right here on the Black Hot Fire Network, the media of the 21st century. Oh, Zambi.
Kisifuda.
I got you.
Weka maandamano.
I got you.
I used that if not properly handled, can be a time bomb that can blow this country.